Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Please subscribe and give me your feedback. I just made a clarifying video today about this idea of VEST 2.1K. We don't always have to say we're sorry, but it's certainly one way to speak to our children. But the question becomes, you know your children better than anyone. What is it that works for you or will work for them? So I don't ever, profess that I know your children better than you and your experience is better than you. You are the expert in your experiences, 110%. That being said, I think it's so important to have this conversation about why we need to do this, right? So, in my podcast, I talk about extinguishing the fire. The coercive controller, the narcissistically abusive parent wants badly to create this compromise in our children so that they align more with that abuser, right? And so when we participate in that in any way, when we feed that fire, we actually are enhancing exactly what the course of controller wants. This is what the course of controller hopes for. They hope we are dysregulated. They hope that we feed that fire. They're looking for someone else to be given a little kindling, add a little gasoline to that fire. We don't want to do that. We want to prevent ourselves as much as possible from doing that. How? So, how can we do this? Well, what we can do is show them that they can't exert that power and control over us. So they don't want to. They're little soldiers lining up like in a cult, right? They're just doing what they're supposed to do. They come back to us, they're with us, they treat us poorly. They are role modeling, saying the same words as the abuser. I mean, you can't make it up. The kid's going to come home and call you a deflector, right? Or they're going to say you're too sensitive. They're going to use all the same jargon that your abuser used with you. They've been listening for a long time. They are beyond witnesses or exposed to. They have felt and seen all of this occurring and they have taken it all in. And then now add in, they're going over to that other person's house. And in that other person is working double time. I promise you, double time to ensure that your child actually gets the messaging that they want your child to relay to you. Again, they're weapons towards you, right? So here they are. They're a young kid. Do they want to do this? No, they don't want to do this. But man, if you're showing up in a way that you're vulnerable and you're giving them, and I know it's not your intention, but you're giving them carte blanche to have control over you. They're seeing you break all the time. You're not standing up in that position of personal power, then they're going to keep doing it. And that is not healthy for them. No child should be able to coerce and control their parent or anyone else for that matter. That's a bully on the playground. They're coming home to you, they're bullies on the playground, except they're bullies with you. No child should be able to do that. And so, what do you have to do? You have to create really clear boundaries. It does not mean you argue with them. It doesn't mean you shame them. It does not mean that you engage in the vortex of the tornado. You don't. You step outside of it. You disengage. You give them the little vest 2.1K. You just say something like, not true, sweetheart. Yeah, I don't agree. And you leave it and you walk away as best you can. I mean, sometimes that means pretending you're going to take a shower or just taking one just because you have to get away, right? Sometimes it means walking out the door when they're chasing you out the door just to get outside and get some fresh air and walk away. They're going to tell you you're running away. That's him. That's the abuser. It's not them. But if we participate, it can become them. And our biggest goal, I know you all feel this way, our biggest goal is that our children do not grow up to be like that other human. And the good news is with you, you are their saving grace. You are the person who can prevent this. You have so much influence, so much influence. So even if you're not feeling it in your gut, you're not feeling that strong, you're like, where's this coming from, Dr. C? I can't do this. I'm overwhelmed. I'm traumatized. I have been there. I get it. I get it. But here's the thing. If you can act the part, pretend you're an actress on stage, act the part. If you can act the part, your brain will begin to think it's real. Your brain will feel less traumatized. So what happens is our brain gets into this space and it doesn't get out of it very readily. And sometimes with a lot of self-care, with a lot of trauma-informed therapy, maybe EMDR, maybe DBT, whatever it is, TFCBT, the types of therapies that you want to participate in. But in that, you show up in a different way, acting a part. And in that, we can help our brain to get rewired. It's not simple. I'm not trying to simplify it. I am not diminishing your experiences, and none of this is your fault. You were perfect prey. Your children are perfect prey. And this is exactly what the abuser hoped for. Whether overtly or covertly, this is what their intention is to undermine you. And so I want you to be able to rise above. That's what I want you to be able to do. And it takes a lot of hard work. It's not simple, and we are not perfect. So, sending positive vibes. Please subscribe. Please follow my podcast. Would love to get feedback. And, if you are a mom out there or a dad, I have the protective parenting program. It is self-study for dads, but otherwise it is available with coaching. And I do offer individual coaching, as does my associate, and also support groups. We are here and available. We have experienced it. We get it. And sending out my heartfelt positive vibes to all of you. Okay? Take care. Bye.